Hey everybody, I just want to show you a piece of my crazy world. Like everybody else, I'm like addicted and in love with acrylic pouring. And I've been an artist for 20 years and done, more like realistic painting. I was kind of like a perfectionist and wanted everything to look real. And I just kept trying to attain that goal. And I still loved to paint flowers and birds and beautiful things, but this acrylic pouring is just so freeing for me. And I wanted to share this with you. I've got my first spring festival Saturday, and I'm starting in a small town, not a large town. It's going to be one of the outdoor festivals on the downtown street, and it's quite expensive to do this. You've got to have tables, table covers, racks to put your paintings on if you have larger paintings, which I do. A tent. You have to pay for the booth space. It's probably going to cost me $1,000 just to be in this festival. And so if you will just say a prayer for me that I will sell something. But I wanted to show people sometimes ask, like, what does your studio look like? Well, I don't have a studio. I work in my small little home in the country in my eat-in kitchen. I don't even have a dining room. So I work on my only dining room table I have in my kitchen. So we eat on our laps for dinner, that kind of thing. It's just me and my husband. Our kids are grown, and so I just had to real quickly show you the mass confusion that's in my house. And I'm also working on trying to get a studio space. And if I get a studio space, then I will have more room to do better YouTube videos and maybe offer classes and things like that. So I'm praying that that will come through for me as well. But I just wanted to show you the craziness. I know a lot of people like me, they're doing 50 or 100 varnishing of canvases or tiles or whatever they're selling. Well, that's been me the last week or so, and that's why I haven't had a lot of videos that I've made, even though I am going to make a video after this video. And I've got Deco Art's new pouring medium, and I'm going to experiment with that. And I had a metallic painting that I just finished that I really loved, and I'm going to do metallics again. So be looking for that video. But I'm going to turn the camera around and show you the crap in my house. It has overtaken my house. Unfortunately, I have a husband that is very supportive of my art and very supportive of me, pursuing this. And like I said, I've been painting 20 years, so this is nothing new to me. It's just a different era of my life doing the acrylic pouring. It's more of an abstract kind of freedom for me, and I'm really enjoying it. And I hope you're enjoying it too. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you the craziness. So this is my living room off of the kitchen where I paint. And I'm pointing in the opposite direction. There's my office. My coffee table and the sofa. And there's my lazy cat laying on her pillow. She's the queen of the couch. And there's all my paperwork for the festival. And I've got, price list and all this stuff. I'm so not ready yet. But I just wanted to just quickly show you, like, there's some of my bigger works back there and some bigger ones here. I've got a few that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with yet. There's all my 16 by 20s. Table covers, paintings, more paintings. There's, I don't know. I've got those 12 by 12s and some longer ones and some 9 by 12s and 11 by 14s and all kinds of stuff. And then back here, I've got some square ones, Those are all my 16 by 20s. And it's abstract fluid art. It's also some real paintings as well. There's the metallic one down by the dog bowl. That's the one I just finished and is sold, and I'm just letting it sit, and I'm going to be shipping that off to Colorado in the next day or so. It's been purchased. So just swinging back around. Then we come over to this little section, and I've got more canvases. A couple of odd things, like a little picture box and frame and a circle and, you know, that kind of thing. And then I've got that painting that I love so much, so I'm going to embellish it just a little bit. That's going to my best friend and her husband. I'm going to put some more highlights back on it. It dulled down just a little bit after it dried. But then once I put that high gloss on it, it's going to pop again and just make those colors really come out. So, and I wanted to show you that. Here, yeah, see all the mess. There it is. The Deco Art paints, Liquitex Basics, all the mess. Oh, there's a little note from my husband telling me he loves me. So I'll zoom back out so you can see. The lighting is kind of bad coming from this direction, but I've got my lights that I do my YouTube videos with. And you see everything is on my dining room table, which is a limited space. So I cannot wait to have a studio space at some point with a table, work table, and all that good stuff. But I just wanted to show you, like, for instance, here underneath, this is my croton plant painting. And I want you to see, it really kind of dulled down when it was dry. But once you put that glossy varnish back on, I want to prove to you how much the colors pop back out. And somebody mentioned, where are the cells? Well, they're there. It's just they're smaller cells because they're in my bottles. And I do constantly add paint and silicone, and I shake the bottles. So it's not like your typical paint that you put in your cups where you put just a little bit of silicone and you barely stir so you can get large cells. I don't want large cells for this type of painting. When I swipe, I love the small cells. And you can see too, there is a little bit of texture. I think I had a sponge brush that had a little flaw in it. But this probably has about 4 or 5 coats of high gloss varnish on it. But I don't mind seeing the texture of the canvas. It's super glossy, and it brings that color back out. So I wanted to show you that. Here's one that I did a few weeks ago, and I want you to see how dull it looks compared to, it's on a black background. I want you to see how dull it looks compared to this croton painting. This is a croton plant. I think I'm pronouncing it right. But when I might just do some like misty kind of looking stuff with some line work over it, but then I'll put that high gloss varnish, and then it'll make everything just come back out. But I wanted to show you how dull a painting looks. People ask, why do you choose the high gloss varnish? This is why. So it looks very dull, and anything against black is going to probably dull down a bit, but when you add that gloss, it really does bring it back to life. Now on white paintings, it's not as important to have that high gloss, so I just wanted to share that with you. But anyway, that was just my little entry video to this video. I'm going to do a metallics video with Deco Art paints and their new pouring medium right there. And I don't do fluid acrylics. I always use, regular acrylics. So the mixture on the bottle says to use 1-to-1 ratio with regular paints, and a 2-to-1 ratio with fluid acrylics, like 2 parts to 1 part. but I don't use fluid acrylics, so I just wanted to share that with you. So I'll be back. I forgot. I have one other thing I wanted to show you. I had painted on that aluminum panel that I had ordered from an art supply company. So like, see, the back is aluminum and the top side is a canvas material. Well, after I did the acrylic pour, it kind of buckled up on the edges from all the, the paint on it. And this wasn't even loaded down with paint. But I had to glue it back down to the metal, and see, a little bit of the metal is showing, so I do not recommend this for acrylic pours. So what I'm going to do is mount it on a board and cover it with some trim and probably a black or gold. But I wanted to show you that this was that 8 by 8 inch aluminum panel. It would work great for regular art, or maybe alcohol inks or something like that, where you don't have a lot of paint that's going to be sitting on it to make the adhesive pull away from the canvas material that's adhered to the aluminum. But then you don't have to worry about it warping, and it is more expensive than canvases. I got that from Jerry's Artorama. Another thing I want to show you is, look at the piles of skins here. And I'm not organized at all. I don't have time to organize that because of all the painting that I do and editing of videos. But I'm going to make another video or two of making jewelry because of this show that I have coming on Saturday. I'm going to make more jewelry. So there's going to be a video about making jewelry with my skins. This is a piece I pulled out of my aluminum foil pan the other day. And I've kept it forever because I think it's so fascinating. And I just want you to see, like, there was peacock colors in there that I poured, and all kinds of different ones that I had poured. And if you're not careful, it'll stick together. I can pull that apart, but I can't do it with one hand right now. But also remember, if you turn it over, sometimes you have interesting looking things on the back. Look, it even is imprinted from the aluminum pan. It's got the imprint. That's how the paint laid in the aluminum pan for so long before I pulled it out. So it's even imprinted with the lettering from the pan. I wanted to show you that. And then people ask, what do you seal your canvases with? And I always say varnish. Well, this one, my peacock painting, which I really loved, it's all metallics, the blues and everything. And the only thing that wasn't metallic was the blackish or dark blue there. All these other colors were in the metallics. But I want you to see how the spray varnish did. It pulled up, pulled as in P-O-O-L-E-D, into these little pitted areas that are discolored. Here's another one area right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's discolored and it's sitting on top of the canvas. So what I'm going to have to do, here's another area right here above my signature. I'm going to have to see if I can sand it down to get that part off and then varnish it with high gloss varnish. And then here is just a painting. The back looked really terrible, so I went over it with some black paint, which makes it look beautiful. But then I'm going to cover it with the dark, heavy brown craft paper. I'm going to seal in the back so you don't even see that. But this is for a painting that is being shipped off to Texas. It's some of my artwork. This painting's been for sale for quite a while, so I'm glad I finally sold it. It's called Beautiful Distraction. But, so this one I'm going to seal in the back of the canvas with paper and then put, some hanging stuff on it for them. But I do not do that with my acrylic pours. I let people do their own framing or hanging because you never know which direction they're going to hang it if they see it one way differently than you do. So I do not finish the backs of my canvases typically. I just want you to know that. See, like the back of this one, it's messy. but I'm going to leave it exactly like that. So I just wanted to add that part into my video.